To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the Walt's World podcast. This is actually a live stream as well. First time we're doing this. So it's weird to know that we can't mess up or everyone's going to hear and see us mess up. There's a lot of pressure right now. But if you're listening, though, we're doing a video live stream on YouTube. Make sure you head over to youtube.com and then search for Walt's World Podcast, and you can see what you're listening to live or recorded later on, I guess. But yeah, I'm John. I'm one of the co-hosts, and my other co-host is the lovely Kelly here beside me. How are you, Kelly?
Only like digitally beside you, but yeah.
Digitally, that's right. You're not millions. You're millions of miles away.
Millions of miles
hundreds. You're hundreds of miles away, but I feel like you're just right there beside me. That technology, it's amazing. Did you do anything fun this weekend or this week or anything?
I took a midterm. That's about it.
Yes.
Education's cool, right?
I love education. School is good. Fantastic. I didn't do anything fun. My wife Krista's had the flu all last week, so that was gross. But she's better now, so that's good. But so just been dealing with like Lysoling everything, the door handles, doorknobs, sleeping in another room just to not get the flu. Did you get a flu shot? Did you get a flu shot?
I haven't yet. Josh hasn't yet either.
Oh my goodness. What a shame.
I know, we're really bad at that.
So before we get in, you can see down below, you can follow us on Instagram at Walt's World Podcast. Of course, here on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell to make sure that you get notifications anytime we have a live stream or post videos or anything like that. You'll always get notified if you do that. Also, we want you guys to be able to interact with us throughout the show, and you can do that by commenting on the chat over on the side of your screen, and we will try to answer any questions you guys have, and we would love to hear what you guys think about the topics that we're talking about as we go through the show. So let's get into it, Kelly. What do you say?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. You're very excited.
I'm nervous and ready to go.
I'm gonna do my best to look at the camera. I'm so used to like not having to look at a specific place, but I don't want the whole video just to be like looking at our logo, Walt's World, the whole time. But I'm gonna do my best. All right. So let's do our first thing.
Same.
We're gonna talk
I might
about.
have to be reminded.
Yeah, for real. So we're going to talk about a couple of things. First, just some updates, Disney updates. The first thing is the Skyliner has reopened. If you guys listened to our episode last week, you heard our very opinionated opinions. Is that the way to say that? Opinionated opinions. You heard.
Sure, let's go for it.
You heard our take on what happened. If you didn't know what happened, last week, the new Disney Skyliner gondolas something happened, and they were stuck for anywhere from 3 to 3.5 hours with people on board. So people were obviously upset, and then when they got off, they were given not fast passes, they were given park tickets and gift cards and things like that. And so since like the 6th, they've been down until this week. And you can see there that we've called them death boxes in the sky. They've reopened, but they reopened with this special sign in front of the walkways to enter the Skyliners. And the sign says, similar to other gondola systems around the world, flights aboard the Disney Skyliner may occasionally be interrupted with stops and delays. What?
Basically, their new way of saying, yeah, you might be stuck up there for 3 hours, so
deal with it.
Go at your own risk.
All around the world, Kelly. All around the world, these gondolas are stopping.
All around the world.
They're stopping. It's a common thing. No reason to freak out. Well, the Orlando Sentinel recently published an article this weekend that was talking where they actually interviewed some of the firefighters that are part of the Reedy Creek Fire Department, which, if you're not familiar, the Reedy Creek area is the area where Disney is. And we talked last week how they said it would have been a disaster if there had been another situation on Disney property. Well, this time they said that they literally used all but two of their firefighters, paramedics, policemen to help evacuate people off the gondolas, and it was a disaster. So all but 2 people were helping that. So if anyone had gotten hurt anywhere else on property, or there was a fire or some disaster of some kind, it would have been a nightmare for people.
Yeah. I mean, because that's just 2 people. How many fire trucks were there for those 2 people to take if they needed to do anything? I don't know. Just, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Still not going to ride them?
No, absolutely not.
Still not going to ride them. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to do it, like I said last week, I'm going to do it in hopes that we get stuck. So that way I can get park passes or like renew my annual pass for free. Or, give me something, gift cards. I'm happy with gift cards. I can use those just as easily as I can use cash or whatever. But I'm interested to see when the first kind of legal suit comes up from it. Because it's coming, right? I mean, it's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
Because there was someone who filed suit for, because they got attacked by a bird on property. And it was obviously Disney's fault that she got attacked by a bird. Because
right.
Disney controls animals.
Yeah.
Unless you're a part of that. Have you heard about the bird movement? Has this not made it to Texas? Okay, so there's this movement that started in Memphis, Tennessee. It's amazing. So there's this bird movement that started in Memphis, Tennessee about how all birds are actually government drones and no birds actually exist. Uh-huh. It's a legit thing. We'll put a link down in the description so that you guys can check out the newscast about it. And the guy was dead serious. All birds are extinct. They're all just drones.
Wow.
There's that. Anyways, wow.
That's impressive.
Went off on another path there. All right. The next news thing we're going to talk about is Test Track is going down for refurb coming up in January. Just for a month, though, and the only thing that's happening is it's basically the operating system, the computer system that controls Test Track is basically just being updated. So it's not like they're painting anything or making anything nicer or actually making the ride better. They are just updating the operating system simply just because they want to have everything ready for the 50th. That next year in 2021, obviously that everything's coming down to that. But I want to hear, Kelly, I want to know your take on Test Track. We've never really talked about this before, but what's your opinion of Test Track?
Since you lovingly called me that old lady yelling at kids on her lawn for our last Epcot discussion, I don't think this is going to shock you, but I totally miss the old Test Track. I kind of liked the whole car test dummy thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It used to make more sense than it does now. I guess the designing your car is kind of cool and the effects look kind of neat sometimes when they work properly, but you kind of go in and don't really know what's going on. The robotic voice doesn't explain very much. The visuals don't really give a whole lot of insight into what you're doing.
Right.
So I don't know. I miss the old one that made it more of an experience than it is now. Now it's just a ride. I feel like it used to be an experience.
Do you feel like the designing your car thing even actually does anything? Do you really think that, and it doesn't do anything to the ride, but do you think it's really seeing how your car actually works versus what happens on the track?
As far as during the ride goes, no. Surely it's just some kind of algorithm, like the way when you set it up, certain points along the lines that they create or set up for you do cause different formulas to work out in different ways. So like basically
Right.
once you've designed that car, the points are already established. They just don't really set it up for you to find out what those points are until the very end. So no, I don't think it does all that much.
Yeah. I'm very like not anti test track. It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
it, once that whole area of Epcot is done, they'll have Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster. They'll have the new space restaurant. They will have Mission Space there as well. My real concern is that Test Track is going to be the thing that doesn't fit that area anymore. And
Oh yeah, we talked about
they,
that.
yeah, and I really think that they need to do something. They're going to have to do something to, put it back to fit. I don't know. And maybe Disney's not concerned about things fitting anymore. And with Epcot, maybe that's just not part of their thing. But this whole like neighborhood idea that they're going with Epcot now, I just feel like that needs to change. I don't know how they could change it to fit really, right?
No, I don't either. Krista says that Radiator Springs Racers over in Disneyland is better than Test Track, and I wholeheartedly agree.
Yes.
But I don't know how that would fit over in Epcot though. I wouldn't mind them adding it somewhere like Hollywood Studios, but I don't know how it would work in Epcot. Probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be at Epcot, unfortunately. I don't think it'll ever be at Disney World, Orlando. But I do expect more Cars stuff to show up at Hollywood Studios, more Pixar things to show up at Hollywood Studios. I've talked before back many episodes ago about some theories or kind of rumors about what's going to happen at Hollywood Studios. But unfortunately, Cars wasn't really a part of any of those, which kind of is bad. But if you want Cars, just go to Disneyland, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing ride. Tip on that, by the way, we found out how you can actually... So the Radiator Springs Racers is the same thing as Test Track, basically. And you're racing, two cars are racing each other like they would do in the movie. And sometimes one car wins, sometimes the other car wins. There's no real rhyme or reason. Well, actually, we found out there is a rhyme and reason to it. It's the car that buckles all their seatbelts first is the car that will win the race every time. Yeah, so don't dawdle when you're getting in your car. You've got to buckle your seatbelt fast and get it over with so you can win the Cars race.
Buckle your seatbelt, pull that yellow tab, and you'll win the race.
That's right. But yeah, so it'll be down for a month. No big deal. Just more people will be riding Soarin' and Frozen Ever After. Anyways, so let's get into what our topic really is about today. It is a new segment we're doing called
Watch it, eat it, ride.
Yes. I love that. You know what? Let's do it again.
Watch it, eat it, ride.
Nice.
I like your voice acting work there.
That wasn't me.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right? That's amazing what technology can do to manipulate your voice. So, for those of you that don't know, I live in Tennessee. Kelly lives in Texas, but she is a University of Alabama graduate. And if you know anything about Tennessee and Alabama, you know that the two do not get along. We don't like each other very much when it comes to football or basketball or baseball or life, honestly.
No, basketball's fine. We suck at basketball.
That's true. We're good. The one thing we're good at. But I just want people to see the sweatshirt I'm wearing just because this is the week. It's Bama Hate Week for us because we play Alabama Saturday. We're going to lose by 70 or 100 points probably, but...
Am I supposed to go get a sweatshirt now? Yeah, that's
no.
what I'm going to do.
Gross.
No, I'm
Gross. Gross. So while she's doing that, but yeah, we don't like each other this week, but we thought we would put our differences aside for the podcast so that we can we can give you guys full Disney knowledge, the best of our ability. So, anyways, as we're going through, let us know what you guys think about the Test Track refurb and about the Skyliners reopening. Will you ride the Skyliners? Will you not? Let us know in the comments. But looks like Kelly is back now, and gross. I wish I had
feel
something.
good now.
I wish I had something already loaded that I could just like put a big X over your face. Something like that. That would be fantastic, actually.
Krista mentioned gymnastics, and I would like to point out that Alabama kicks absolute ass at gymnastics. So.
Oh, wow. We don't even have a gymnastics team, so whatever. Gymnastics. Simone Biles,
Wait,
though.
does Tennessee really not?
No, we do not. We don't have a gymnastics team.
Oh.
Oh, it's lame. All right,
Sucks to
so
suck, I guess.
I guess so. So
Watch it, eat it, ride it.
yes, watch it, eat it, ride it. So what we're going to do is we are going to go park by park and Disney Springs, and we're going to talk about one thing that we would like to watch, one thing we would eat, and one ride we would ride. If we could only watch one thing, we could only eat one thing, we could only ride one thing, what would those things be at all four of the parks, Disney World parks, and Disney Springs? Now, I know there's not really technically a ride at Disney Springs, but we're going to kind of give a little leeway on that one, be a little flexible on it. So let's start with Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has slowly become one of my more favorite parks the more I've gone to it and the more I've experienced things other than just like Everest and, you know, the Nemo show, things like that. So why don't you go first, Kelly? What's the thing you would watch if you could watch one thing?
If I could watch one thing at Animal Kingdom, does it have to be current or can it be past?
You could do both. Give me one of both. It's Rivers of Light, isn't it? I knew it.
Absolutely. No, actually, I never got to see the Jungle Book show, so I kind of wanted to see that. I heard it was horrible, but I really want to see it. That's one of the things I would watch. What's yours? What would you watch?
Well, I would watch my current, because that's what I went with. The current thing that I would watch is the Festival of the Lion King, because it is one of the best shows, not just Disney, but anywhere. The length isn't too long, so you don't feel like you're in there forever like you would with the Nemo show. It's because the Nemo show is like almost an hour long. Whereas
Yeah, it's really
Festival of the Lion King is like 15, 20 minutes. And it's interactive, and it's just cute to see the little kids walking around, shaking the little shakers and interacting with the cast and things like that. The music is phenomenal. The cast that sing is phenomenal. The aesthetics of it all. The one scene that always gets me is the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" scene with the cast member that is a bird that's on the I don't know what they call it, that's up in the air and flying around and spinning and dancing with the guy, and it's so amazing. That would be the one thing I would watch if I could only watch one thing. What current thing
I
would
actually
you watch?
just saw that for the first time
What?
like 3 months ago.
And you lived there for how
Yeah.
long?
Yeah, we lived there for 3 years, and I've been going there since I was a kid, but I had never seen it until a few months ago.
Oh, wow. Yes.
I don't know how that happened. And Josh
That's-
still hasn't seen it, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to change. That's going to change soon.
It probably should.
Knowing him, he would be very emotional because he's an emotional guy. I know. So yeah, Amanda says Nemo show is nap time. 100% agree with that. It's 100% nap time. Oh my gosh, I've seen it twice, and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep both times watching it because it's cold in there, and it's dark, and the seats aren't very comfortable, but when you're at Disney World and you've been going all day, it's exhausting, and you could literally sleep anywhere, and we've seen people sleep anywhere. All right, moving on. If you could only eat one thing at Animal Kingdom, Kelly, what would that be? What would that one thing be?
If I could only eat one thing, oh, this is gonna sound weird, or this is gonna sound kind of bad. I actually don't have a lot of like food at Animal Kingdom that I like, so I would stick with the soft serve ice cream in that bright blue truck over by Everest. Like that's all I would eat there.
So does it taste different than other soft serve ice creams? Because I feel like all soft serve ice cream is the same.
Probably not, but I don't know. There's just something special about that truck, I guess.
Just something special about it. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's your opinion. You can eat whatever you want. It's your last chance to eat something there.
Yeah.
That's what you chose. Good on you for
That's
that
what I
one.
chose.
Mine would be Satuli Canteen in Pandora. It is first off, I've never had a bad meal there. It's quick service. So if you're not familiar with Disney terminology, you have quick service and you have table service. Quick service is you order at a counter and you don't really have a waiter. And table service is you order at your table with a waiter, and stuff's usually more expensive and stuff's a little bit nicer and things like that. But quick service wise, it's amazing because it's different than anything else on property. I kind of equate it to like a Chipotle type place where you have your base, which is like rice, or you can do noodles, or you could do salad, or you could do quinoa, or you could do like a hash of some kind. And then you pick your protein. You could do like chicken or shrimp or steak. And I think they have like a tofu and a vegan option. And then you get like a sauce you put on it. And the desserts are amazing there. Different. That's the thing. It's different. Most quick services around property, you get your chicken nuggets, you get your French fries, you get your burgers, things like that. You can also get, as Krista has told us here, you can also get the burger pods, which they are basically Bayo buns, which have like a hamburger in it, and it kind of tastes like a Big Mac. But every time I've gotten them, which I love, the first one I got was pretty good, but ever since then, they've had like chunks of like chewy meat in them. Like not gristle per se, but like just chewy, and it wasn't good. So that's really the only thing I haven't liked there. But it's different. Everywhere else is chicken nuggets, French fries, cheeseburgers, that kind of stuff, hot dogs. So it's good to have something different and a little healthier, which is really rare at a theme park to find. So I would pick Satuli Canteen. I thought you would pick like Pizzasaurus or Pizzafari or Restaurantosaurus or something like that. I thought I picked you as one of those people, Kelly. Kind of disappointed that you didn't say that.
I know. I do really like eating at Flame Tree Barbecue in that outdoor area, but they changed their menu so much that it ticks me off. I don't really have a favorite food there anymore. The only thing that I get consistently is the soft serve ice cream. So that's my choice.
Well, there you go. That's fine. And because you lived there, you guys probably didn't necessarily eat meals there as often. That's true. Right, because you could just go to Chick-fil-A, which is way better than anywhere else on Disney property.
Have I told you that story about the guest that fought me on there being a Chick-fil-A in the park?
Yes, let's hear it. Because for those of you that are joining us for the first time,
you just said Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Kelly used to be a cast member, so that's where she gets some amazing stories. So let's hear it.
Well, and I worked at Animal Kingdom specifically.
Oh, that's right. So at the front, didn't you? Yeah.
That made it even better. There was one day, I don't even remember what was going on, but basically a guest came up to me and asked where the Chick-fil-A in Animal Kingdom was. And
sorry, my bad.
That was so weird. Okay.
My bad.
I didn't know he could mess with my screen, but whatever. Anyway, this guest came up to me and asked where Chick-fil-A in Animal Kingdom was. And I said, unfortunately, we don't have one. You'd have to leave property in order to find a Chick-fil-A. And they hardcore fought me on it. They looked me in the eye and told me that I was lying through my teeth, that I was just not wanting to be helpful. that there was for certain a Chick-fil-A in Animal Kingdom because they saw other guests carrying bags from Chick-fil-A through the park. And I said, well, they must have brought it in from a Chick-fil-A off property because there are no Chick-fil-A's on Disney property. And they basically kind of threw their hands up at me, continued to say I was lying, and left to go find someone to help them out more properly. So, yeah.
Well, because obviously you're lying.
Just in case you didn't know, there are no Chick-fil-A's on Disney property. So, good luck.
That's amazing. I love that. I can't wait for you to tell the story about a poor duck and a eagle incident that happened at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, no.
That's just a tease for later. Side note, did you know that at the Magic Kingdom they used to serve McDonald's in Frontierland?
They also used to serve McDonald's at Animal Kingdom.
They did. A little like kiosk stand.
Yeah.
Nice.
The one over by Dinosaur, is that Restaurantosaurus? Am I remembering that correctly? I don't know why that sounds wrong to me. That used to be a McDonald's as well.
Oh, wow. What a shame. Rip.
Not
So-
sponsored.
Not a sponsor. Even though it looks like our colors are McDonald's
Right.
colors, I just noticed that. Oh, that's gonna change. Anyways, I can feel my cholesterol just going up as we're talking about McDonald's. All right. So, what about the one thing you would ride? If you could ride one thing at Animal Kingdom and only one thing, what would that be?
That's really hard for me because I love majority of the rides at Animal Kingdom. I think if I could only pick one thing, I think it would be Expedition Everest, but only at night. Like specifically nighttime.
Yeah.
I think that's the best. It's such a good experience.
Yeah, I'll talk about another ride that's better at night in a little bit as well. When we talk about something at Magic Kingdom, but it is definitely better at night. It's way scarier at night. You can actually almost see the Yeti at night as well, which hashtag fix the Yeti. I love Everest. I really do. It's really fun, but I've gotten to the point where I can only ride it a couple times in a day because it gets to me a little bit. The whole backwards
same.
part. Yeah, my neck starts hurting because the headrest isn't like up far enough to where you could actually rest your head against the back. It's just far enough away that you can't do that. So you're straining your neck trying to hold it back, but it's still super fun. I love it. The view at the top with all the hair ties. Yeah, love it. This one was really hard for me because I love Dinosaur. Like I love Dinosaur a lot. Like it's a really fun ride. But after I went to Disneyland and rode the Indiana Jones ride, which is basically the same exact ride as Dinosaur except without dinosaurs, I don't like dinosaurs much anymore. So
It's so good.
it's so good. But I love Flight of Passage, which is like the cliche answer, obviously, to say for Animal Kingdom. Flight of Passage, duh, because it's the coolest, it's the most unique. However, it's gotten to the point where, like, the last time I rode it, I got kind of nauseous. Like, dizzy from it, motion sickness from it, which is weird. But, yeah, I still love it, though.
Gotta start packing more Dramamine.
Hey, I take as much as I can. It just doesn't work anymore. What's up with that? Comment. Let us know what you guys would ride, eat, watch at Animal Kingdom if you had the chance. Which some of these are it's gonna be hard to say the watch stuff because some of the Streetmosphere stuff is going away. Pretty much all of it at Disney. They've cut all those budgets, so a lot of the street performers and the jam-knitters and at Epcot and street people at Hollywood Studios, and I almost called them streetwalkers. Street people at Hollywood Studios and the citizens of Hollywood is what they call them. People like that their budgets got cut, so they're all going away. So it's gonna be a lot harder as time goes on. But let's move on now to Hollywood Studios, which, in all honesty, used to be my favorite park when it was MGM Studios back in the day with Roger Rabbit and the backlot tour and all that stuff. But it's slowly become less and less awesome. But what would be the thing you would watch? What's the one thing you could, if you could watch one thing, what would it be?
Voyage of the Little Mermaid over and over and over again.
Are you being serious
Don't
right
even.
now?
Don't even.
Are you being
No, I'm being
serious?
dead
How have I
serious.
not? How did we not talk about
was
this?
That was my favorite. That was my favorite attraction. Period. When I was little, like that was the only thing that I would do. That was the only thing Studios was good for. I would watch that over and over again.
Oh my gosh. Cannot believe this. I'm honestly shocked that it is still there. I'm shocked that it's still there.
Honestly, I kind of am too. But fun fact, I used to be friends with Ariel. She was my RA in college.
Really?
That's kind of cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool. That's really cool, actually. Wow. So it's obviously after she got her legs, obviously.
Right. She got her
Obviously.
legs, then she got her education, then yeah.
Obviously. Good. I have this feeling it's not going to last much longer. I'm just going to go ahead and let
Probably
you know.
not.
Go ahead and set you up for the disappointment now.
Oh, I've already accepted its fate.
Okay, good. Just, the next time you're there, you better watch it. That's all I'm going to say.
I watch it every time. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh. Never with us, thankfully, whenever we've been there together. Thank goodness. For
Wow.
that.
Well, now I'm forcing y'all to go with me.
I remember, so my wife, Kristen, and I got engaged there at Disney World in 2013. Whew. I'm glad I remembered that. 2013. And I remember waiting for that show for like 45 minutes to watch it. And looking back now, I'm thinking to myself, I was so dumb.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything else to do at Hollywood Studios then, though. Like, they still had the backlot tour, but it was like, not half of it wasn't working. And like, the Golden Girls house wasn't there anymore. So like, what's the point? For me, I have a tie. Okay, I have a tie, and it's because these are the two best shows. The two best shows at Disney are both at Hollywood Studios. Number 1A and 1B, Fantasmic, and for the first time in forever, Frozen Sing Along. Your mind is blown, isn't it? Fantasmic is the greatest show Disney has ever done, ever.
I mean, I absolutely agree. I actually didn't know that you liked Fantasmic. I don't
I
understand
love
why we
it.
haven't
What?
all gone and just jammed out.
What? I love every second of Fantasmic, every bit of it. The pre-show music that happens. Okay, there's one thing I don't like, but it's not Fantasmic's fault. It's the stupid wave that people in the crowd try to do before the show starts. No one... Can we just make the wave outlawed? It's the dumbest thing. Sporting events, before concerts. People aren't there to stand up and do the wave. If I'm there, I've been standing at Hollywood Studios all day, walking, standing in line. The last thing I want to do is to get up off of my seat and stand up and move my arms like this and sit back down again. Like, I'm sitting, I want to sit.
Krista says, let it go.
My goodness. I'm triggered right now with the whole wave thing. But I love Fantasmic. Yeah, I can't believe we haven't talked about this. Fantasmic is...
I can perform the whole thing beginning to end, like right now.
Oh,
I love Fantasmic.
we'll save that for next week.
It's not what I
that'll
chose,
bring them back.
but I love Fantasmic.
Fantasmic. If you are a Disney kid that grew up in the 80s, 90s, then Fantasmic should be on the top of your list because that is the pinnacle of Disney because it's got your mermaid, it's got the bell, it's got Lion King stuff, the monkeys dancing around, right? The music is all very 90s. The Fantasmic music is the quintessential Disney 90s music.
Yes.
The pre-show music is so good. It's that Disney punk pop stuff that they came out with like in the early 2000s.
Okay, I hate that stuff.
What?
I hate that stuff. I think it's so cheesy. But I'll give it a pass just because it's like very phantasmic.
Goodness.
I don't know.
I cannot believe that you said that right now. It is so good. Art of Animation used to play that music, but they've stopped. Like in the last 2 years, they've stopped doing that. They don't play like the Miley Cyrus "Kiss the Girl" or whatever anymore. Like those punk pop songs. It's super sad and just depressing. Honestly, Fantasmic is amazing. The Mickey Mouse. I think it's because Sorcerer Mickey's my favorite Mickey version of Mickey that there is. So I think that a little bit. But also the other one was For the First Time in Forever, Frozen Sing-Along. If you guys haven't gone to this show, it is literally, if you're an adult, you may think it's just for kids. And parts of it is, the sing-along part's for kids. But the whole premise is there are these royal storytellers that have come to Hollywood Studios to tell the story of Anna and Elsa and how she became queen and how they've how Elsa unfroze a heart because Anna got her heart unfroze. Anyways,
It's okay.
whatever. You've seen the
We've all
movie.
seen Frozen. We know the story.
So they tell the whole story, but they have these two human actors that are the storytellers, and they are hilarious. I mean, hilarious. They make jokes that only adults will get. And there's been times where like I've literally been crying. I'm laughing so hard in that show. I don't feel like you're impressed by the show. I feel like you're just like whatever
It's
about it.
okay. No, I do think it is funny. I think it's a good. I don't know. I like that they're able to make fun of themselves in it. Like Disney has been able to make fun of themselves in that show, but it's not like the greatest thing I've ever seen. I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me, I guess. I have this really funny video of Josh the first time we went to see it because tons of people like you told us that we needed to go see it because it was so funny. And we really didn't believe anyone for a while. But when we did go see it, that stupid snow, the fake snow crap. Oh, I
Snope.
hate that stuff.
Yeah, Snope.
Snope. I have a video of Josh just glaring me down with all the snow falling around him while little
love to see that.
kids are screaming "Let it go" all around him, and it's one of the best things. It definitely encompasses our feeling about Frozen being everywhere in the parks.
But it's a good time. At least it's a good way to get out of the heat. Comfortable seats,
That's true.
super comfortable seats. And a little tidbit for you. Before it was the Frozen show, it used to be the American Idol experience where they would have like guests would go audition and they would have shows throughout the day and they'd have 3 guests that would sing a song and then people in the audience would vote. And then at the end of the day, they would have the top winners and then they would compete to move on. And if they won the day, they got like a golden ticket to the front of the line. I auditioned this guy and I got through. Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing. I should have loaded a photo in here, but I didn't know we'd talk about that. But just a little tidbit for you. Anyways, eating. Where would you eat, Kelly?
I have no idea.
Oh, good
Hollywood
show
Studios-
prep.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard because I don't think there's anywhere, again, I don't think there's anywhere at Hollywood Studios where the food like really wows me. So there's nothing in particular that I would go out of my way for there. But if I had to pick one location, I think it would be Sci-Fi Dine-In just because of the experience. Like I love the atmosphere of that place. I think it is such a good idea. It's so cool. I can't say it's the most relaxing atmosphere to eat because it's a little loud, but I love it. It has a lot of good memories for me from growing up. So that's my one place that I would eat.
Good. Yeah, I like that place. Krista hates it, so we never eat there. I love it though, because I love like that sci-fi, those cheesy sci-fi like trailers that they show on the screen, and it's just so cool. For me,
Krista says she would eat at Pizza Rizzo, by the way. Which, when are you going to eat there? It's closed all day, every
it's
day.
always closed. Yeah, that used to be our go-to quick service there because on the top floor there was literally never anyone there ever, and
That's still
it
the
was
case.
awesome. It was awesome, and it was super air conditioned, like super duper air conditioned. Yeah, they did cut some of the improv stuff out, Amanda. That's right, they did. Lately, they've cut out a lot of it. What I've found is if you go to the last show of the day, they are more like free with the improv, and they will carry on a little bit more because they know it's the last show of the day. And there's nothing, like, they don't have a time limit really as much. But make sure that if you go, make sure you see if Ben is one of the people, because Equity Ben is literally the only reason we go to that show. So make sure if you follow him on Instagram, he will usually post his shows when he's one of the storytellers. But yeah, I love Sci-Fi Drive-In. We just never get to go. For me, if I could eat at one place at Hollywood Studios, I would eat at 50s Primetime. I love 50s Primetime Cafe. Chris and I used to go every single time we went. We would eat there. If you're not familiar with it, it is you literally are walking into basically a 50s style home, essentially. And so it's home style type foods like meatloafs and fried chicken, and it's literally the best fried chicken on property. End of discussion. The best fried chicken on property is at 50s Primetime. But you sit down in these like 50s style kitchen areas, and the waiters and waitresses are your cousins, and they literally will treat you not like crap, but they'll treat you kind of like, matter of factly, like, hey, set the table, and they'll just throw the silverware at you and the napkins. If you're on your cell phone a lot, they'll tell you to stop being on your cell phone or get your elbows off the table. And if you don't, they will punish you. A couple years ago, we were there for my birthday, and I kept putting my elbows on the table. They made me stand up in the corner, which this sounds something like you would love, Kelly. But they stand you up in the corner in front of everyone, and they make everyone say, naughty, naughty, naughty. Yeah, to you. And they make you stand in the corner. It's hilarious. And it's fun. But the food there is amazing. The highlight of the whole thing is the fried chicken, but they have a peanut butter and jelly shake that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So good. Which you may think sounds gross. And at first I thought that too, but it's the perfect amount of peanut butter and jelly. It is so good. And you can actually get that without having to eat there. You can just walk into the lounge area and order at the bar the PB&J shake. It's so good, especially if you're not going to be walking around a lot, because it's not really the thing you want to drink at 100-degree weather, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, have you eaten there?
Yeah, it's one of my dad's favorites. So we go there. It's almost interchangeable. Like, we'll go to Hollywood, or we used to go to studios like twice a trip, and there would be one meal that we would specifically eat at Sci-Fi, and the other would always be at Primetime. So, yeah, we eat there all the time. It's not my favorite, but I do enjoy it. I like watching Josh get yelled at all the time because he can never eat his vegetables. So,
yeah, I could see that from him.
If it's green, he's not going to touch it.
Just a little side, like it's just like a first runner-up for me was also Andy's Lunchbox. Andy's Lunchbox, Woody's Lunchbox, I always get it mixed up. The quick service, the one place to eat in Toy Story Land, breakfast, because of the French toast sandwich that they have. It's a hazelnut really spread with marshmallows and like a graham cracker French toast on it. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. So good. All right. Ride time. What's the one ride, Kelly? You really prepared for this, didn't you? Wow.
I know. Rock and Roller Coaster. It's just so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's fine. I mean, I'll ride it. It's not a big deal. I'll ride it or whatever. Krista, my wife, loves it. I have to ride it with her. But I'm glad when like people like you are with us, because then you can just ride it with her and I don't have to. It's a great ride. It's really fun. I like it. Mine would be, and this is gonna shock some people here, but mine would be alien swirling saucers. All day, every day, alien swirling saucers, because it is just fun. Is it the most exciting ride? No. But how can you not ride that and have a smile on your face? You look in front of you, you see that little alien, like he's actually driving you somewhere. If you're not familiar with it, it's a whip style ride. So you're kind of going and it kind of whips you back and forth. And it's just fun. The music is fun. The aliens talk when you're getting on the ride and getting off the ride. And it's just a fun ride. Like, it's the one ride that I can ride and feel happy when I get off and not nauseous. I love Tower of Terror, don't get me wrong. But after riding the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout at Disneyland, riding Tower of Terror now is going to be super boring.
Oof.
Yeah, and Alien Swirling Saucers Christmas overlay is amazing. It's awesome. All right, so and you're laughing at comments. Yeah, I can.
I
know
am.
exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The chat's really funny.
The Woody's hot box. I like that. That's hilarious. I always enjoy like getting a table whenever I can, and then watching people. I call them sharks. They just kind of like walk around the tables, waiting for people to get up, and like as soon as like one person like literally just moves a little bit, they're like, there. Are you moving? Are you done eating? Are you guys done? Can I sit here? Like it's hilarious. It's not funny when you're the one doing it, but watching it happen, because you're eating and like the second you get done with that last bite, that person's going to be like closer and closer to you, standing over top of you. There's nothing more that I want than in 100-degree weather in the middle of the sun without any shade is people standing on top of me pretty much, waiting for me to finish eating. Really good. Really good. All right, let's move on to Epcot. Epcot. What is the one thing that you would watch? Now, there's not a lot to watch, honestly. I mean, there's some stuff, but what's the one thing you would watch at Epcot if you could watch one thing?
I'm trying to think of what there even is to watch there anymore.
You've got
there are
Impressions
lots
of
of things
France, Circle Vision,
there's a lot of
China,
things I've never seen,
Canada.
which includes Impressions of France as well as the Liberty Voices or American
What?
Adventure.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen either of those things.
Oh my
I know.
gosh! How can you live in America and have never seen the Voices
Listen.
of Liberty, and you've never seen the American Adventure show?
When I was growing up, shows were just like
Spread your golden wings.
those just weren't things we wasted our time with, I guess. They just always seemed like unnecessary things. I don't know. I know. I'm sorry. I'm a failure. And so many shows have closed just within the last year, too.
Yeah. It could even be a seasonal show. It could be a seasonal thing. Mine's a seasonal
Look,
thing.
I'm gonna do another old show. If
Okay.
I could watch anything at
Is it the
Epcot,
Barbie
it
show?
would be... No, I was gonna say, and I could have the name wrong, but the Kitchen Cabaret,
yeah,
old school
yeah.
Food Rocks, that stuff. Like I
that
would
was
totally
in
watch that again.
Was that in the? I think that was in the Land Pavilion.
Yes, yeah, it used
might
to
be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it used to be downstairs where Soarin' is now, or like around that area.
I think it was around that area.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it was, which makes sense that it
so.
would be there. That's a big throwback.
I loved that
like
as a kid. I want to watch it
I like
again.
that. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube somewhere.
Oh,
Pretty sure
for
it's on
sure.
YouTube somewhere.
I just haven't taken the time to look for it.
You must not care about it too much, Kelly.
You're right. I'm a bad fan.
For me, mine, and like you were saying, like there's not a whole lot to watch per se, but they are, of course, with the Impressions of France. That's becoming a Beauty and the Beast sing along, which, yay. But for me, I choose the Candlelight Processional at Christmas time. So last Christmas was the first time Krista and I had done it, and we did a dining package. We ate at Nine Dragons and then went and got in line. We actually got to see Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was the reader that night.
Thanks for the invite. I'm just kidding. Keep going. Carlton.
Carlton was the reader. It was the first time he had done it, and so you got to see his impression of it the first time, which was really cool. But I kind of always thought like, oh, it kind of seems a little cheesy. But after, like, there were parts of it where like I got teary-eyed and was like emotional because it was so good. The singing was amazing. The orchestra was incredible. The reading of the Christmas story, it was just, it literally, it blew me away. Honestly, like, it was so good. And if you guys are going to be at Epcot at Christmas time, it is 100% worth going to, standing in line for. I would suggest doing the dining package where you can eat somewhere and then get reserved seating. But it's 100% worth it if you have a good speaker. We had a great speaker. He was awesome. If you don't know who we're talking about, it's Alfonso from America's Funniest Home Videos, and he was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as Carlton. Of course, people like Neil Patrick Harris is like the epitome. Like, one day we will be able to watch it with him. I think like Whoopi Goldberg reads it, and Gary Sinise, which that would be pretty cool too, probably. But really great, really, really, really great. Famous people speak at those, but Candlelight Processional is definitely my must-watch at Epcot. It's amazing. We're going to do it again this year.
Yeah, the first and only time Josh and I have ever done it, we was the year we moved there, so about 3 years ago, and we watched Neil Patrick Harris, and it really was a cool experience. It was a great way to kick off the Christmas season.
Yeah.
The singing really is great. The story is the same as every year, but it was a really cool experience. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it's amazing. What about eat? Now, this one I'm so excited to talk about. Where's the one place you want to eat, Kelly?
The one place I want to eat. Ooh, that's hard at Epcot.
Electric
There are
Umbrella.
a lot of places that I like. No.
The American Pavilion.
Do you like to throw up at Epcot? Is that like what you're telling me here?
See, that's the thing though. The thing with Epcot though is if you're there during a festival, like if you're there at Flower Garden or Food and Wine Festival, you're eating around the whole world anyway. So like that's kind of, you can choose that.
That's part of what's making it hard, because I'm trying to think like, what have I loved at Epcot, and everything I keep coming up with is from a festival. But if I have to pick a restaurant, I'm gonna pick Teppanyaki Edo at Japan. It's really relaxed. I love hibachi and sushi, and
why would you?
I don't know. I just really like it.
Why would you eat there when you could literally like drive down the street and eat hibachi? That's probably better. But I mean,
you could say that about any food at Disney. I mean,
I can literally drive 1 mile from our house and get hibachi that is way better than Teppanyaki Edo.
That's fine.
We've eaten there.
Yeah, I could say the exact same thing, but that wasn't the question. The question was, where is the one place that I would eat at Epcot? At Epcot, I'm going to say that one.
My goal is just to judge everything you say. So
good.
I'm just going to tear it down.
I'll tell you everywhere that I refuse to eat at Epcot if you'd rather.
Yeah, why don't we do
list.
that? That would be more fun, because you're the negative Nancy. We've been told you're the negative Nancy. People have told us about how negative you are. So let's hear the places you refuse to eat.
All right, is everyone ready to be offended? I hate Garden Grill. I hate Via Napoli. I'm sorry, it's coming up so many times in the chat. I really hate it. I'm not a big pizza person, so like that's probably why. I really hate what's the sea one? Coral Reef. I hate Coral Reef.
Everyone hates Coral Reef.
It's so bad. Why is it so bad?
Because it's a aquarium restaurant. All aquarium restaurants are bad.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is going to be awkward to talk about my favorite. My
'Cause I
favorite
just
is
said I
the
hated it.
Garden Grill.
It's Garden Grill, isn't it? Yeah.
I love it. I love the Garden Grill. It is the best. It is my favorite. Okay, it's tied for my favorite breakfast on property. Every time I've gone there, I've never had a bad meal. They put goldfish in the mac and cheese.
That's not a selling
What?
point. That's gross.
What? Goldfish in the mac and cheese. Incredible. I love goldfish and I love mac and cheese. What more could you want, Kelly? Nothing more. Don't say anymore. You don't.
Those two things in separate bowls. No, I will say I love the idea of Garden Grill. I just don't like the food.
I love the
I do
idea
like-
of running, but I don't like running.
Well, yeah, that too. I like the idea of working out, but that doesn't mean
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Nah.
I appreciate that they use vegetables and other food from the
That
greenhouse,
there.
like the actual living with the land location. That's really cool. I love that. But man, make it taste better.
What? I cannot believe this. When's the last time you went?
I can go down the street to like Cracker
Oh my
Barrel
gosh.
and get the exact same thing
No.
for cheaper.
So
No. If you're gonna pull that line on me, I'm totally pulling it on you.
Garden Grill breakfast. We're going in November for my birthday, and we are on my birthday. We're doing breakfast at Garden Grill because it's one of my favorite breakfasts in the world. And is there anything
I
super
didn't know
amazing
they do
special about it?
breakfast.
Oh yeah. See, you've not given it a chance. They have this giant cinnamon roll that's like the size of your head. It is amazing, Kelly.
Every cinnamon roll I've been told to have at Disney has disappointed me. So that's not.
Did
a
you like
selling point for
the
me.
one in? Did you like the one in Gaston's Tavern?
Did we
Not
get
eating it. Oh.
those? I don't
Take
know.
a Cinnabon.
Josh, tell me in the chat. Did we ever get one?
Take a Cinnabon, increase its deliciousness by 1,000 and its size by 10, and boom, cinnamon roll, amazing. Eggs, sausage, bacon, hash browns, or I guess they call them, what do they call them? Potato barrels, because they can't use hash browns because that's trademarked. Potato barrels. The salsa, the salads that you have, it's all fresh because it's actually grown there in the land pavilion in the greenhouses. At dinner, they have turkey, dressing, cranberry sauce, green beans, mac and cheese, which is the second best mac and cheese on property. The first best is at Tusker House. Second best, Garden Grill. Pot roast of some kind, which I love pot roast anyways. And then for dessert is this strawberry shortcake, which is so good. It's like they've caramelized they caramelized the sugar on the outside of it, so it's got a little bit of a crunch to it. Oh boy, oh boy, amazing. But yeah, Garden Grill for sure. If it's Christmas time, Beer Garden is really fun at Christmas time. Everything's decorated inside of there. The band plays. They have a live like German polka band that plays, and they do like Christmas songs and stuff like that. It's super fun atmosphere. If it's just two people going though to Beer Garden, I would suggest not, because you get stuck with a party of other people and it's awkward. But if you're going with a group of people, super fun, super fun. But yeah, Garden Grill. We're going for breakfast next time we're at Disney together. It's happening. It's happening, Kelly. It's happening.
Fine.
What are you going to ride?
At Epcot.
At Epcot. Choices. Big choices here.
Man, I suck at this. It would be a ride that's
You do.
no longer there again.
You do suck at this. Body Wars.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, Body Wars.
I loved Body Wars.
Sorry, there's a lot going on uh, around me. Anyway, what ride would I pick? I don't know. Probably. This is hard. I think I would pick Maelstrom, which isn't there
Rip.
anymore.
Rip.
Not really.
Rip.
Rip.
Maelstrom. It was a good ride. I did
know.
like Maelstrom. It was really fun back
Yeah.
in the day. Which is really funny because mine is Frozen. So I
mean,
love
it is
Soarin'.
the exact same ride.
Pretty much, except it goes the opposite direction.
What?
What? It goes opposite direction.
It's literally the same ride track. They didn't change the ride track.
But it goes backwards. It goes the opposite direction. I swear.
Yeah, Maelstrom did that too.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it goes the opposite direction. Like, how the opposite the way that Frozen goes. Like, Frozen goes counterclockwise. Maelstrom went clockwise. I swear. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think that's right.
Tell us
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
chat.
you're wrong.
Maybe you're wrong.
No.
Frozen's still my favorite, is the ride, okay? So I love Soarin'. It's amazing. It's great. But you have to sit in such a specific place for it to be a good ride because the screen is like bends. Like the Eiffel Tower will like bend as you are flying through it and stuff like that. So you have to sit in a very specific spot. Test Track is fine. It's whatever. Frozen is the ride. It's another one of those rides that just makes me happy to ride it. Like, I just feel happy. Funny story about the Frozen ride. Chris and I got on it. It was the week of the hurricane, like in 2016. And literally no one at Epcot. We literally walked on every single ride, no wait, okay? And there was this family that rode with us. And there was a mom and a dad and a son and a daughter, and the son did not want to ride this ride. Like, he hates Frozen, did not want to ride it. We ride it, and the whole time he's sitting there with his ears plugged like this. He's like, "This is horrible. I hate this ride. This is stupid." And so we get to the end of the ride, and we're getting off, and he goes, "Worst ride ever!" Like, screams it at the top of his lungs. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And the photo, he's sitting there like this in the ride photo, like mad at the world. It is so funny. But I will never forget that. But it's one of those rides that just makes me happy to ride it. And I love the way the Norway Pavilion smells. I like the way that it smells. It's obviously that cologne perfume that's there. I like the way that smells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like the smell.
It's very clean.
All right, next up, Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, last but not least. However, this one was hard for me in terms of eating. It was hard. Not a lot of options here. But what's the one thing if you could only watch one thing at Magic Kingdom, what would it be?
Oh, Country Bears. Duh.
Good choice. Why Country Bears?
Because it's the best. It's the best, worst thing on Disney property. It's like
amazing.
Chuck E. Cheese levels of awkward, but so much better.
Yeah, it's if you don't live in the South, you probably don't get it, right? I mean, that it's kind of like you have to live in the South, have grown up in the South to understand the complexities that is the Country Bear Jamboree.
The nuance of those country bears.
Yes, the nuance, the subtle nuance. They are the best. If you are waiting for the parade to start at the 3:00 parade, or you're waiting for the Mickey Not So Scary or the Boo to You Mickey's Not So Scary Boo to You parade for the Halloween party, the Country Bears are out walking around and causing mischief, and it is so fun just to be around them. This one was really hard for me because, like you, I have this just love for Country Bears. But I knew you were going to say Country Bears, so I didn't want to go with it. I wanted to go with something different. So mine, again, is a tie between Tiki Room and Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. which in this case, me and your husband are basically the same person, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tiki Room is I think Tiki Room it takes me back to like Walt. You know, like I feel like Walt is there when you're watching that show. All the voice actors for it were voice actors in like 1960s, 70s Disney cartoons, and it's just funny. The little like Country Bears, the little nuances that it has. It's in the dark and it's cold, and it just takes you back to like a different Disney time. It feels like. And then Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Like if you're not someone who likes stupid, corny, dry humor jokes, then it's probably not for you. But I love this show. Love this show. Like I find myself laughing out loud multiple times. And I wish we were going during Halloween because of the treat trail that's through there. Now the characters are on the screen like talking crap about people who are in the line or sitting in the audience. And I would spend half of my time at the party in that room just watching and listening to them just burn people. But I love it. Both of those. Amazing.
Same. It's so good. The thing about Magic Mike, as we affectionately call it in my household, is it can be kind of hit or miss. Like, you got to get
That's true.
a really good group of people, like a really good audience, and the comedians that are just on it. And when you get the right combination, it's amazing. Like there's nothing that beats it. But sometimes you have to take it with a grain of salt and just acknowledge that you didn't have the best show. If you don't like it, you didn't have a good show.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way it is.
I think it's hard whenever the actors choose people to talk that English isn't their first language, because they don't always understand what they're being asked, and then vice versa, we don't understand, and so it makes it harder. But I've found, I don't know if you found this, but I found that the later in the day, closer to park closing you get, the more kind of like free the actors are with it, a little more like rambunctious, which I appreciate. And usually people who are watching that later at night are also like more into it too.
Yes, I agree.
So I like that. I think the time that we went, it was like that. They were much more like into it and stuff. What about eating? Where's the one place you would eat at Magic Kingdom if you could eat at one place? This was tough. This one was the toughest.
Yeah, this is super hard because I have some places that are very near and dear to my heart just out of nostalgia, and then there are things that I love to eat there. Yeah. Oh man. It's sort of a three-way tie. Like if I have to choose by place, I really get stuck between Cosmic Rays and Columbia Harbor House, just because those were places that I went growing up every time we went. So they mean a lot to me. But then if I have to pick a food, like nothing beats that Nutella and fruit waffle at Sleepy Hollow for me.
Yes.
I love that thing. I'm such a dessert person. So that thing is, man, it is so good.
It's the perfect, and it's the perfect amount too. It's not super heavy either, but it's like just enough. It's so good. So good.
So
basically, such a simple
if
thing.
I could eat the fruit and Nutella waffle inside of Cosmic Rays,
watching Sunny
while
Eclipse,
getting the same people watching as the second floor of Columbia Harbor House, it would be my perfect meal at Magic Kingdom.
I chose Columbia Harbor House as my one place. The Magic Kingdom has a few like table service places, but none of them are at the level of quality or experience that you're just like, I've got to do that again. I've done, Bell's Castle, the Be Our Guest. I've done breakfast there. I've done lunch there. I've done dinner there. I've done dinner at Cinderella's Castle during the fireworks, which was a really cool experience, actually. If you're going to do it at night at the time the fireworks are happening, because the fireworks shooting off with the stained glass, it's incredible. They pipe in the music. It's a really cool experience. Anyways, and then we've done Liberty Tree, and we've done, what's the one, Crystal Palace. And just none of them were just like, oh my gosh, that was incredible. I've got to do that again. But Columbia Harbor House, again, is another one of these quick services that's different than your burgers and fries. They do have chicken nuggets, but it's more of like they have fish, shrimp, they have lobster rolls, which are really good. Chicken pot pie, which I always go with the chicken pot pie, but they have like green beans as a side instead of French fries. They've got mac and cheese. They used to have shrimp mac and cheese, which was really good, but they don't have that anymore. But like you, I like sitting on the second floor. I like sitting in a very specific area. I'm not going to give it away because I don't want everyone going and sitting there. But we've sat there and eaten. I love that area
exactly
for the people watching. Yeah, you know where I'm talking about. The people watching is incredible. And it's a big restaurant too, which is good because you can kind of find a little nook to get away from the craziness of the day. But the only thing I hate about it, and I've said this before, is that it smells like a nursing home sometimes in there. Like, nothing against nursing homes. Like, I get the value of a nursing home, but like something about the smell just... And I don't know what it is. Next time you go, though, you're gonna smell it, and you're gonna be like, "Yep."
I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish I'm not gonna say this. I was gonna say what I wish it would kind of become something different. I'm not. We'll save that for another episode. But that's the place. Is Columbia Harbor House. A little bonus is Pecos Bill is never a bad choice. You can always do some tacos from Pecos Bill. All right, what's the ride? I think we may have the same one. I'm not sure. What's the
I don't think we do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. For me,
Uh-oh.
this one was also really hard. I mean, Magic Kingdom in general, just picking one thing is really difficult. It's a tie between the Haunted Mansion and Splash Mountain for me. Those are both like my die-hard favorites. I will rally and protest if they ever try to take either of those away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with half of what you said. Haunted Mansion is amazing. I love it. I love the Haunted Mansion. I actually like the Disney World version better than the Disneyland version. But granted, I didn't ride the Disneyland version during the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, so I don't know that version. But I do like the Disney World version of it better than the Disneyland version.
I agree with that.
Mine is Big Thunder Mountain. I love Big Thunder Mountain. This is the one, like I mentioned earlier, when you talked about Everest, riding it at night was better. Big Thunder Mountain at night is a completely different ride. It's the same ride, but it feels completely different at night. I would ride it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again at night if I could. I would ride it during the day. I love it. It's fun. I love the theming of it. Would I stand in line for more than an hour? No. Would I stand in line 45 minutes for it? Yeah. I would stand 45 minutes. There's not a lot I would stand in line for 45 minutes for, but I would stand in line for 45 minutes to ride Big Thunder Mountain. It is worth it. And this may not be a popular opinion, but I like the Disney World Big Thunder Mountain more than the Disneyland Big Thunder Mountain.
Gasp.
I said it. I did it. I said it. I do wish Disney World had some of the, the projection stuff that the Disneyland one did, but Disney World one just felt more like chaotic, like, oh no, are we going to fly off of this track kind of feeling, which I like that. And the views of the castle are great as well, but it's so good. So good. That's mine. All right. Last but not least, Disney Springs. What's the one thing you want to watch?
I think my favorite show there is watching people freak out over the Rainforest Cafe volcano fire every 20 minutes or whatever it is.
Yes. That's so good.
I think Josh might say the rappers that used to hang out over by the movie theater. I don't know where they are now. I know they're still there, but I don't know where. No offense, but we can't stand those guys. Anyway, watching people completely panic, freak out, and then whip their phones out to take videos of the Rainforest Cafe volcano fire. That's the best show.
Yeah, that's funny actually. This one, I mean, because there's not like a show or a parade or anything like that really necessarily there. Mine, I just put like streetmosphere, like because they have people like singing on the corner or playing a piano that's moving around the different areas of Disney Springs, or dancers or things like that. So just like honestly, just like walking around and watching people and watching the atmosphere. I love Disney Springs. I love just walking around there and just being there at night, especially. It just feels so, I don't know, it has a different feel. You don't feel like you're at Disney World necessarily, unless you're at like you're at like the Disney World of Disney store or something. But that would be my watch, or go watch a movie. Go watch a movie at one of the movie theaters, the restaurant one or the normal one. Yeah. So, what is your one thing to eat? There's a lot to eat there. We've eaten at a lot of places together there. So, where do you want to eat at Disney Springs? The one place.
My one place is not necessarily the best, and I know that. There are definitely better places to eat there, but just for nostalgia's sake, no, my one place is Earl of Sandwich. That was like when I was growing up and we would be on our last day before going to the airport to come back home at the end of a trip, we would always get something at Earl of Sandwich. And so, I don't know, it just has like a really special place in my heart. So that's the one place I would keep. That's
cool. Yeah. We've always say like we need to eat there, but then we always end up going somewhere else. I guess living there, you guys probably ate at several of the places.
Yeah, we definitely ate there a lot. Anytime my parents came, we would go to Earl of Sandwich, though, pretty much. And that's because, and we don't call it Earl of Sandwich in my family. We call it roast beef smoothies. And the reason for that is they still have like the yellow awnings around the building, but they're like plastic now. They used to have these like fabric awnings. And for some reason on those awnings, like wrapped around the side, they listed off random items that they serve there. And for some reason, the way that it was cut in one location, it said roast beef smoothies instead of like roast beef sandwich and then smoothies. So we just always made fun of that. And we always call it that now. If anyone else calls it that, I would love to know.
Right? Probably not.
No, probably not.
You're probably safe with that being like your family's thing. I have a feeling. No one's stealing that one.
It stood out. It was, I don't know. It was with that bright yellow awning. It stood out.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that's my one place.
Amanda agrees with you. She loves Earl of Sandwich. That's her place to go on the way to the resort. For me, it is, and this one was tough because the others are like, I've got like the nostalgia thing. Like Raglan Road obviously was like nostalgic because like we had dinner there with you guys back last year around my birthday, because it wasn't my birthday. They wouldn't give me a freaking dessert for free because it wasn't my actual birthday.
I totally forgot about that. I'm
still bitter about that. Still bitter. And they put us in a room, the furthest point away from the stage to where you couldn't even see the stage. Beside the exit door. Yeah, that's a whole story. But it was nostalgic because it was fun.
Y'all tried to convince us that place was great too. And like that was the experience that we got for the first time.
We were trying to convince you that it was great?
I think so. Or someone else.
We'd never been there before.
Okay, then it must have been somebody else convinced us to try it because it was such a good experience. Or we were all like, everyone says it's great. And then we were like, wow,
I think that's what it was.
This is not fun.
I think everyone said it was great.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love that place because of that. And then, but for mine, it's Enzo's Hideaway. And Enzo's Hideaway is different than Maria and Enzo's. Enzo's Hideaway is underneath the Edison restaurant. It's a speakeasy type restaurant thus the Hideaway thing. And so like it's underground and it has this very like 1920s kind of feel to it, Italian, and it is some of the best Italian I've ever had in my life. I have a friend who is Italian. He didn't magically not become Italian. He is Italian. He said it was the best Italian he's had since he's lived in Florida, which is saying something. It was really, really good. We went late afternoon, and we were literally like the only people in the restaurant, which was kind of cool. The servers were super knowledgeable. The atmosphere was so cool because it's kind of hidden, and it's kind of hard to find, honestly. Like it took us a while to find the entrance to it, but we loved the experience. We're gonna go back. I've told friends to go back to go to it, and they loved it. And yeah, it's super, super good Italian food. But yeah, Enzo's Hideaway is the one place that if I had to eat at one place in Disney Springs, it would be Enzo's. For sure.
We actually never tried it, so I think we're gonna have to.
Shame.
We're gonna have to fix that next time we're there.
Shame. And of course, Blaze gets an honorable mention because it's Blaze, and Blaze is amazing, always. But I could eat at Blaze anytime I want to at home. All right. What about ride? There's not really rides.
I already corrected you on this. There are at least 3. There's the merry-go-round, there's the train, and there's 4, excuse me. The amphicars over at Boathouse, and then there's also the giant
balloon of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so there are rides.
I'm also going to add in there like the Void. I'm going to add in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, there was something else I was going to add to it.
Disney Quest, RIP.
Yeah, the Disney NBA experience. That's what I was going to add into it.
Oh, okay.
We got people saying deluxe. Yeah, I do like deluxe a lot. I do. It was really good the time we all ate there. It was really good. So what is the ride or experience that you chose?
The Void, but specifically the what is it called? It's the Star Wars one, and for some reason I'm blanking on like the name of it, but that is one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. It is so good. I love it. I want to do that a million times. Yeah,
that was mine as well. It was amazing. Amazing. The first time we ever did it was with you guys, and it blew my mind. So this experience, it's the Void is what it's called, and you can either do a Star Wars experience or a Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet experience. I would suggest Star Wars experience to be your first one if you guys have never done it before. Essentially, you put on this VR headset and headphones. It's like this huge helmet. You can't hear anything. You can't see anything except what's in your visor. And you have a gun of some kind. And it's literally you're walking through rooms. And as you're walking through rooms, what you're seeing is the space that you're in. You have to push buttons and you walk over like cooled lava. And it's actually squishy when you walk on it. And you're shooting like stormtroopers and Darth Vader. And it's a completely immersive experience that is 100% worth the $30-$40 that it is. It's incredible experience. You work as a team. Like you look down at your hand and you move your hand around. And it's actually like you look like you're wearing a stormtrooper's uniform, and it's amazing. It's amazing experience. It really is. And the Void is releasing a Marvel version that is not in Disney World yet, but it's in Atlanta, and like I think it's going to Disneyland area as well, but it's not made it to Orlando yet. But I bet it's going to be incredible too. But the Star Wars,
they're also making a Ghostbusters version, which
there
sounds
is a
really
Ghostbusters
fun.
version. Yeah, in Atlanta there's one. I would love to do that. I love Ghostbusters, so
yeah,
I would love
want
to
to try
do
that one.
I would love to do that. Which I'm so jealous of the people that got to go to Halloween Horror Nights this year to do this Ghostbusters house. Oh, that would be so amazing. I've heard it's incredible. The video I've seen of it looks incredible. At least what I've seen. I mean, you never know. It could be horrible, I guess, but
it's probably not.
No, it's probably not, because Universal does stuff really well. But anyway, so that's it for us, for our list of stuff of our
Watch it, eat it, ride.
That's it for
Can
that.
y'all tell how proud he is of that graphic?
Is that not fun?
No, it is.
What? You want me to do it again?
Watch it, eat it, ride.
Hey.
It's fun. That takes effort and artistic ability, Kelly.
You are right. We are
do
all
that.
super proud of you. You
Thank
did an
you.
awesome job.
Thank you. I did it. So that's going to do it for our episode. If you guys missed anything on the live stream, you can always download the podcast on Wednesday morning from iTunes or Spotify or Podbean or Google Play or iHeartRadio. Literally anywhere you can listen to a podcast, that's where you can listen to it. You can always rewatch this video as well on YouTube here. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you know whenever we post stuff. And also head over to Instagram and follow us at Walt's World Podcast. We post stuff occasionally on there. We post stuff all the time on there. Stories, things like that as well. If you have any questions for us, show topic ideas, head over to your email and shoot us an email, waltzworldpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. And also, one last thing, please give us a review on iTunes. That's the best way for people to be able to find us, find our podcast, is to review us on iTunes. And next week, we're going to read some of the reviews. We've been getting some reviews, some really good reviews. So we're going to read those next week. And a segment that we started last week that has become extremely popular, I've heard a lot of good things about. The best reviews we could find today will come back next week with some great
The
reviews.
most magical.
The most magical reviews we found today.
Gotta
Is that the way you said
stick with the theme.
most magical reviews we found today? Is the way I think you said it. We'll be back next week where we read Disney reviews that people have left online. It's amazing experience. So thank you guys so much for joining us, tuning in with us. I hope you guys liked it. Let us know what you thought about it. It's the first time, so it's probably pretty awkward for us. But I think it got better as we went on. I think it was better.
I hope my nerves were as obvious as I felt they were.
Oh, it's good. It's all good. We're going to get better at this. The backgrounds are going to get better. It's all going to get better. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.